presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
After a day off yesterday, the Tigers are back to work today. We've got baseball in downtown Detroit as we welcome you to Comerica Park. Game 1 in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the visiting Houston Astros. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kurt Gibson, glad to have you with us. What?
Back.
He's back. Gibby's back, and we're glad to have him. Look who's back again. Now, the Tigers, of course, had a day off yesterday, Gibby. They needed it because they just have not been playing good baseball. They need to play better baseball.
They do, and they got a streak of 20 in a row upcoming. They did get swept by the Kansas City Royals. They got outplayed in every aspect. I thought they started to lose their composure just a little bit. Then the Rondon incident. Then the thing I didn't like, it didn't seem like there was much support in the clubhouse. So a good off day. You know, there's going to be trade rumors this time of year. Articles are going to be written. You got to stay on track. Just remember, not too long ago, this team was picked to contend this year. We're a good team. Go back and play hard, do it the right way, and get after a very good team. The Houston Astros is having a special year.
Yeah, how about these Astros? You look at what they've done on paper, and they're off to historic starts in terms of their franchise is concerned, but this up and down the lineup, even with a couple of injuries, very good team.
Well, remember, it wasn't many years ago, the Astros did a total redo, totally gutted their organization, came back, and now they love it on the road. 37-13, 303 average on the road. Very athletic team. They do a lot of good things. They can beat you in a lot of good ways. They've got some very special players. The one of each is Jose Altuve. This little guy is a little guy with a big package. He can hit for power. He goes either way. He can hit and run. He hits behind the runner. If he sees the shortstop cover, he'll adjust and hit it that way. He sees the second base, he goes the other way. He runs as well. He can hit infield hits, can steal the base, and defensively as well. He's just a great total pack. He's got an 18-game hit streak in this game. He just went 8 for 8. You got to pitch around him if you get the situation tonight.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you to the Colsham Studios. Check in with John Keating for the Astros. No Correa, no problem. Marwin Gonzalez has filled in beautifully for them. Tigers-Astros, game 1 in this series. Up next.
He's not pitched since June 2nd because of a neck injury, but he was 9-0 then. Jordan Zimmermann hoping to bounce back after a tough start in Minneapolis 5 days ago. A quick pop back into the Call Sam studio. I'm John Keating. Last year, 105 1/3 innings pitched for Zimmermann. This year, that same total. Last year, 14 homers allowed. This year, 22 homers allowed. So Zim will have to keep the ball in the ballpark. Getting some home run support would certainly help. If Detroit combines for 3 or more bombs in tonight's game, you can bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Dodge. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. Right back to the ballpark on a glorious Friday night. Game Time is next. Baseball here in the Motor City. The Astros are in town to start a 3-game series against the Tigers. It'll be Jordan Zimmermann on the mound for the Tigers tonight. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
20th start on the year, 2-3 with the 2.95 ERA against the Astros. That's in 6 times. Only his second start at Comerica since mid-June. I think the changeup could be big tonight for Zim. He's got to keep it down against those left-handers.
Here's the starting lineup he will face tonight for the Astros, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. They have Fisher, Altuve, and Reddick leading things off. Altuve, an 18-gamer. Gurriel, Gonzalez, Beltran in the middle. McCann, Bregman, Aoki rounded out. Correa's on the DL, and just today George Springer was put on the disabled list. So the Astros a bit short-handed for this series. Nonetheless, they put up some big numbers this year, especially on the road. Derek Fisher leads it off. It'll be Fisher, Altuve, and Reddick facing Jordan Zimmerman. And here we go. The first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Fisher at 240, couple of home runs, was called up from their AAA team in Fresno on Tuesday night. And boy, did he put up some big time numbers there. He'll look at a ball outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Fisher, the first round pick of 2014. They come big now out of Virginia College. 6'3", about 210 pounds, runs good. Got good quick actions.
2-1 the count on Fisher. 21 homers, 66 driven in Fresno. Here's the weather tonight, 74 at game time. Clear. Gorgeous night. There's a line drive snagged at first base by Cabrera. Took a double away from him.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. Got Jay up out there in left field again. Mikey Matuk in center. Andrew Romine over in right. Machado and Kinsler up the middle. Nicholas Castellanos at third. Miguel Cabrera at first. James McCann is receiving from Jordan Zimmerman.
Here is Jose Altuve. What a year for Altuve. 365. And he swings on the first and drives one in the air to right center field. Long run for Matuk, and he won't get there. It's up against the wall. Altuve might end up at third on this. He's coming to third base. Here's the throw. It's held up. It'll be a triple for Jose Altuve.
I didn't even have time to say you got to watch out for Altuve. He's deadly. 0-0, 0-1, 1-0. Loves to swing the bat. Very aggressive early. And he hits it a long way. He's not a big guy, but he's got a lot of sock in his bat. Never seems to be off balance. This ball pretty much down the middle, elevated. And looked up. Mikey thought he's going to have a try at this, but off the wall. Romine gets over there as quickly as he can. Thought they might have a chance to get him at third, but did not materialize.
So an early scoring chance now for the Astros. Runner at third, 1 out, and Reddick stands in, ball 1. So Altuve wasting little time extending his hitting streak. Here you see 495 in the first pitch. There's a drive in the air to shallow center field. Matuk coming in. So is Romine. Runner will tag. Altuve coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. It'll be a sac fly and an RBI for Reddick.
Well, you can see already this Astros team, they are very aggressive. You make a mistake out over the middle of the plate, they're going to make you pay. And they've already have 1 run on the board.
I'll say this about Romine in right field. His arm can't be feeling all that good today. I know we had the day off yesterday, but he pitched in the final game of that KC series. He said he woke up sore yesterday. Now with 2 outs, Yuli Gurriel stands in, and he takes strike 1. 289 batting average, 13 home runs for Gurriel. 0-2. Zim now with the 0-2 pitch. Skied in the air toward left, not deep. Upton just about on his tracks, and that'll end the inning. Astros get a run. We go to the bottom of the first. Astros out to an early 1-0 lead in this one as we go to the bottom of the first. Here's how the Tigers starting lineup looks tonight. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Kinsler, Castellanos, and Upton in the top 3 spots. Miggy batting cleanup, then Matuk and Martinez. McCann a 7-gamer, then Romine and Machado. And Dallas Keuchel tonight presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Well, Keuchel's last start, June 2nd, been on the disabled list with neck discomfort. That sounds familiar. George Zimmerman doing the same. Probably be good for 70 to 75, maybe 80 pitches tonight. And the slider has been very good as he uses that against the hitters. Left-handers hitting 100 and right-handers just over 200 off Keuchel this year. He is 9-0.
Ian Kinsler gets it started for the Tigers. And Keuchel delivers a strike. He got the call on the outer edge, 0-1. Ian, 2 out of 11 in the series just completed against KC, batting .245. Drilled to center field on a line, but it's going to be caught by Reddick. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Astros starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Out there in left field, the Rook, Derek Fisher, Josh Reddick having a great year. In center field, Nori Aoki. In right field, Alex Bregman at third, Gonzalez and Altuve up the middle, Yuli Gurriel at first base, and Keuchel throwing to Brian McCann.
Here is Castellanos. Nick snapped an 0 for 20 on Wednesday with a base hit. Ball 1 to Castellanos.
Got the heavy shift going on Nick. Hits the ball to the left side of the diamond. Obviously on the ground, play him oppo in the outfield.
Shadows covering much of the infield. Some areas of sunlight. Big swing there, and the counter is 1-1.
So if you look here, we got guys here for the pull on the ground. You can see over this way in the air. It's a common alignment. Many hitters hit that way and are defended that way.
It's been a common alignment against Castellanos throughout his career. He's always been a guy that has used right center field, right field.
You can see the defensive shifts. The Astros over the last 3 years been first.
Only the Rays in 2015 had more shifts. Fouled off.
And that's one of the things they're very effective at. They shift a lot. They're able to throw strikes, throw to certain parts of the plate. If you can do that, it works. If you're unable to hit your spots, not as much.
3rd season for A.J. Hinch as their skipper. Brent Strom, their pitching coach.
I know A.J. very well. I was his bench coach in his first stint as a manager down in Arizona.
A.J. former Tiger as well, although very briefly in that 0-3 team. He appeared in 27 games for the Tigers that year.
From Stanford.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when he played, figured that one day he would manage, and here he is.
I talked to him today about the difference several years make, and he also majored, I believe, in psychology.
That certainly helps in that position, doesn't it?
And he just said, you know, some of the things when you are an early and young manager, after years of evaluation, you change some things, and feels like he has great rapport with his players now. And he realizes that the way he was managed or coached is not the way it goes today.
Here's the 3-2 to Nick. On the ground, left side, base hit, found a hole. Right through that shift, and a 1-out single for Castellanos.
You know, if he lines this ball, left fielder's way over here. He's got a long way to run to get this ball. Nick gets out of the box very good. I was thinking double when he hit it, but Fisher is very fast, gets around the ball, stops Nick at first.
It'll bring up Upton. Justin, 2 out of 11 in the series against KC, had the 8-game streak snapped a couple of nights ago. Still solid 276. Been a while since Keuchel's been on the mound. June 2nd, a pinched nerve in his neck. He's been on the DL for that and has been bothered by it a couple of times this year.
Again, talking to Hinch, he said that when that happened, they immediately wanted to shut him down. Those balls are off the plate. C.B. Buckner is giving those pitches to the pitchers to see if he does it both ways.
CB behind the dish, and then Gonzalez to Jesus and Culbreth round out the umpire crew, and Culbreth your crew chief. Upton fouls it off, 1-2. Well, before landing on the DL, I mean, Keuchel was as good as anybody in the game, was 9-0 and still is.
Yeah, he's had a couple good years. Doesn't throw hard, but he's got an idea what to do with his pitches and his sequences. Will throw the fastball at the top of the zone just above the hands. Well, there you got the scouting report. 100 points lower against the slider than the league average. Lots of ground balls. You got the four-seamer, the cutter, slider, and the change.
2-2 on Upton. That'll miss inside. I wonder if the Tigers might be a little bit more aggressive tonight, knowing that Keuchel throws a lot of ground balls, maybe stay out of some double plays in certain counts.
I think this is somewhere where you might want to put it in play, get the runner going. Runner, especially when they shift, it keeps them out of the shift. There's no shift on J-Up. Somebody's got to cover.
Runner holds and is lined to right field. Fair ball, going to go to the corner. Here comes Castellanos to third base, and they're going to hold him there. Nick was ready to come home, and Dave Clark threw up the stop sign.
This isn't a second guess. If you start him there, maybe he has a better chance of scoring. Nick was not on the run, but J-Up was some good hitting right there. Keuchel tried to go on that outside corner outside, and J-Up did not let it go by. See, it's on the outside part. Doesn't try and pull it. Just down in that right field corner. However, you've got second, third one out with Miguel Cabrera. It's a pretty good job by Aoki getting over there and picking it up. You see Nick's off and running. Dave Clark gives him a late stop, and Nick does a good job holding up.
45th extra base hit of the season for Upton. That is 9 straight years now of at least 45 extra base hits. Tigers can grab the lead with a single here, and Miguel fouls it back out of play. Cabrera 3 for 11 in the series that just completed, and there you see some numbers on J-Up, who continues to swing a hot bat. 12 homers this year for Cabrera. Infield will give up a run on a ground ball. Ball outside, 1-1. So Keuchel's already thrown 17 pitches, and that bodes well for the Tigers. First start since June 2nd for the talented left-hander.
Gonna come in here.
Swing and a miss.
A little cutter right there. Maybe a curve ball. High 70s. Miguel has not swung the bat well this year. However, he has hit 329 versus left-handed pitchers, so it looks good. Should stack up well.
And the 1-2. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Cabrera on Tuesday picked up his 2600th hit. And what has otherwise been a down season for Miguel, but still 2 months left to play and plenty of opportunity for him to supercharge the rest of this year. He's got a chance here with 2 men on. always maintained, Gibby, that even a bloop single in a spot like this can kind of get you rolling sometime.
Yeah, it'll make you feel good for sure. You don't matter how you do it. It's just whether you do it.
Single by Castellanos, double by Upton. Darting low, 2-2 on Cabrera, who did not chase, as again Keuchel comes inside.
Again, Miguel likes to go to right field as well. You can see the Astros trying to establish inside. 20 pitches by Keuchel, 12 strikes so far. Only time he's really gone away, it's been off the plate.
Keuchel now with the 2-2. Got him, strike three. Cabrera caught looking on a pitch on the inside corner. First strike out of the ball game for Keuchel, 2 gone.
Pretty good pitch, throws it right on the inside corner. He's thrown a lot of cutters previous in this ball right here. 91 miles an hour. Caught Miggy.
So with 2 outs here is Matuk. Mikey enjoying an 11-game hitting streak. Homered against the Astros back in Houston in May when the Tigers were on the road against the Astros. Looking for a 2-out hit here. Ball 1, good stop by McCann behind the plate.
11-game hit streak for Mikey. Couple dingers in there and some production on the RBI. Longest of his career.
Not only that, but Matuk in the month of July as a whole batting .353 and pretty much has seized control of that center field position.
Keuchel will not give in here.
Missed low and the count goes 2-0. Victor Martinez waiting on deck.
That took 2 for 5 off of Keuchel. Victor 6 for 15, both 400.
We painted that time right on the outer edge. Nothing really over the heart of the plate.
Well, here's a picture of the painting. Can stuffs it right there. Again, CB Buckner has called every pitch there.
Now 3-1.
See if he doesn't try and come in or he just puts him on. If he wants him, he'll come in and try and jam him.
Playing to pull on Matuk on the infield. And ball 4, so Mikey draws the walk. That'll load the bases. And it brings up Victor Martinez.
See what they do on the shift now. Bases loaded. Not as easy to move the infield around.
Victor this year has had a much higher batting average from the right side, .314 compared to .244 lefty. .260 overall, and a big opportunity early in this game with the bases loaded. Strike 1 on the outer edge. As Keuchel moves toward a 30-pitch inning, he's at 27 right now. Ball inside, 1-1. Victor's next double will be his 400th in his big league career, and there's only been one other Venezuelan right now active that has had 400 doubles, and that's Miguel Cabrera. So he's trying to join his teammate in that regard.
Yeah, Victor's starting to pick some milestones off. A lot of years, a lot of production.
Swing and a foul, and the count now 1-2 on Martinez.
Keuchel really good at using all of his pitches and coming out of the same spot. Similar motions on all of his pitches. Hard for the Tiger hitters to decipher. You got a battle here. Tigers looking for a big hit here to take the lead.
Now the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Martinez. Well, you never really know what you're going to get out of a guy who has missed almost 2 months in the rotation, regardless of what his numbers were before he went on the DL. And clearly Keuchel now at 30 pitches has not had the pinpoint command.
Best pitch was against Miggy, painted him with 2 strikes on the inside corner.
Ground ball foul just outside of the bag at first.
That'd have been a beauty.
Keuchel had allowed just 3 runs in his previous 23 innings before the injury, the pinched nerve in his neck. And going forward, they need him to be their ace down the stretch and into the postseason. Tigers will also see Lance McCullers, who's been very good. He'll pitch in Game 3 in the series.
I think Houston will be paying attention to many Tiger players as an addition to their team.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that will end the inning. So Martinez will leave him loaded. 2 strikeouts for Keuchel, who wiggles out of a jam. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet. Go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Man, does that look good.
Late night weakness.
You got that right. Not many calories in that concoction right there.
Got to keep yourself strong.
Well, the Astros lead 1-0 as we go to the second. Tigers a wasted opportunity, had the bases loaded with 1 out, with 2 outs rather, but the 1 out second and third situation as well, and Keuchel was able to wiggle out of it. And now Zim back to the hill. He's got Marwin Gonzalez to lead things off, and he looks at strike 1. You know, all these names in the lineup, and I know a few of them are out now with Correa and Springer and Gonzalez. You look at his numbers, and it almost takes you by surprise if you're not following these Astros.
You can see great numbers by Gonzalez, 321 average, 60 RBI, big production with the home runs.
And Gonzalez skies this one in the air. Matuk in center field drifting. One gone.
A lot of depth.
Zim gave up a triple and a sac fly in the first inning. That's how the Astros got their run. The triple by Altuve. Here is one of the veterans on this team, and that would be Carlos Beltran.
He's had a great career, hasn't he? Switch hitter.
Indeed.
Not his first time with the Astros.
Beltran has been to 9 All-Star games in his career. 1-0 is outside, 2-0. Only Eddie Murray among switch hitters has more extra base hits. Impressive company there. Chipper Jones on that list. Gotta love it when you're on the list with Mickey Mantle. 2-1.
There you see his career. His DH, 280 average, over 400 homers, over 1,500 RBI. Had some big hits in his career.
And it was a career that started at the age of 21 with the Kansas City Royals. That was back in 1998. Very next year, he won the Rookie of the Year award in the American League. And all these years later now, the numbers are starting to pile up for Beltran. Pulled foul.
Used to have pretty good wheels as well.
Yeah, there was a time where Beltran would steal in the 40s. That was back in his early days in KC.
KC, Houston, Mets, Giants, Cardinals, Yankees. Well, some good stops. Texas. Back in Texas, but with Houston.
Altuve has already made his presence felt tonight. Three and 2 on Beltran. One gone here in the second. And he popped him up behind the plate. McCann giving chase. Will not have room. A couple of rows deep. It's about to turn into an 8th pitch at bat here for Beltran. All teams, I think, if you need that somewhat veteran influence that Beltran will give, especially with all the young players they have on the squad.
Absolutely. I know that he's teaching. He'd be the kind of guy that would teach signs from second base.
That's back up the middle into center. 1 out single for Beltran. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Astros have their second hit. That'll bring up Brian McCann. The guy that has been around quite a few years over in the National League with Atlanta for many years. Oh, look out. There goes the bat. All the way back into the Astros dugout.
How does that happen, huh? Might ask yourself. That would suggest he might be a pull hitter. That ball really, that top hand really came over.
They'll stop the on deck circle, get a little bit more stickum.
Yeah, now see, they have the stick and they have the pine tar. I think the stickum sometimes is so sticky that it's like slippery sticky. I mean, it breaks loose quickly. I always preferred the pine tar with a little bit of rosin. You can make it exactly sticky and it holds.
The 0-1. That is popped up left side of the infield for Castellanos. And McCann is out, 2 gone. That'll bring up Alex Bregman with 2 away. Another spectacular night here in downtown Detroit. Sun still shining Temperature in the low 70s this evening. District Detroit night here at the ballpark tonight. Good crowd out hand.
Yeah, very good crowd tonight. Fireworks after. District Detroit. Live and well.
Bregman sends a ground ball to the right side. Fielding is Kinsler, and he throws him out. No runs and a hit. One man left, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Tonight as we go to the bottom of the second here at the ballpark, and tomorrow the Tigers take on these Astros at 6:10. Former Tiger John Hiller is taking part in a pregame Q&A session. It's at 4:45 in the Big Cat Court, part of the Alumni Saturdays. Visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. John Hiller.
Ratso. I heard Rod call him that too. That was his nickname. Everybody remembers it.
Don't forget, we're on an hour earlier tomorrow. 6:10 start here at the ballpark for game time. James McCann will lead things off. Tigers live at 5 tomorrow evening. The 1-0.
I'll be back.
Yeah, you're pulling your shenanigans on Pick the Stick again tonight.
Didn't think you'd go so deep in my pocket.
Easy. 2-0 on James. 7-game streak for the Tigers catcher. Rolls one to third. Nice backhanded pick by Bregman.
Very good play.
1 out. We check in now with Trevor Thompson.
Well, after a 32-pitch first inning for Dallas Keuchel on the mound, you want to know that he won't be around long in this game, and that's because before the game, A.J. Hinch said that he does have a pitch count on Keuchel tonight. He did not give an exact number, but he did say it would be an early evening for him, and after throwing 32 in the first, he probably shortened that up even more, Mario. But he also said this is the first time all season long they've been able to put Keuchel, Colin McHugh, and Lance McCullers back to back in their rotation for a series all season long. So they're 17 games up in their division and haven't had those guys to work with all year long. An embarrassment of riches the Astros have.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll be active as well as the trading deadline looms. They'll try and strengthen their team. But the thing, Gibby, about taking Keuchel out of the game early tonight because of a pitch count, they've got a good bullpen, so it really doesn't matter all that much. It's a very deep bullpen.
And we'll see all three of those guys in this series.
The 0-2.
I know the Astros looking for more bullpen help. Their bullpen's been outstanding this year. A lot of strikeouts. But I think Keuchel will be 75 pitches, or right around 70, 80 tops, 70 at the low. That'll be the design.
Romine strikes out. And McCann will complete the strikeout. 2 gone. Menard brings you the big money encounter. Dallas Keuchel slider this season. Gibby just threw one there.
Yeah, 65% strike rate. Whiff rate 45%. That's what he just got Romine on. Slider down and in. It's a late breaker. It's hard to see, obviously. He throws that also off of his curveball and his little cutter down in there. Pitch usage at 56% for the four-seamer. The changeup a low of 8%.
Strike one to Machado, who gets the start at short tonight.
But just here in the second inning, it's pretty obvious to see what Keuchel wants to do. He's going to throw the ball off the plate away. He's going to pound the ball the inside part of the plate to the righties and in off the plate. Righties don't like that. Nobody likes to be pounded in. Some guys will say that they like it, but in general they don't like. They like to get their arms extended. So Keuchel's just painting in there right where he wants. Get him thinking inside, then he tries to sneak one by on the outside part of the plate. Little backdoor breaking ball right there. He mixes all of his pitches.
1-2 on Machado. Keuchel looking for a much quicker inning. It'll bounce in. 2-2. Keuchel won the Cy Young back in 2015 when he won 20 games that year. League high 232 innings. Now the 2-2. And it's low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That year, a couple of years ago, he also finished 5th in the MVP voting. Got a lot of votes there. The 3-2. Just got a piece of it. Machado stays alive.
Likes that outside corner, especially down and away. It's his safe spot. Shadow's really not too much of a factor right now here at Comerica. Pretty good background.
And outside ball 4, so Machado draws a walk from the 9 spot in the lineup. Tigers have a 2-out runner. It'll be the second walk.
See the shadows there when this whole area here is light. There's a line of darkness. That's the one that really gets you, but it's in pretty good shape right now. Sun's getting low this time of the year, so it's the one when you get over top, it's a little brighter. It's tougher to see, but looks like Machado saw the ball very well that at bat.
Ian hit a line drive his first time up, straight at the center fielder though, and he takes ball 1. So again, early on here, Keuchel has not been sharp. He has had just a few more strikes than balls in this game. He's approaching 50 pitches. Ian looks at ball 2.
Fairly quick to the plate, so very tough to run on Keuchel.
Tigers had him loaded in the first inning, but Martinez struck out to end that frame. Now they have a 2-out walk here in the second.
Looking for a 2-out, 2-run dinger right now from Ian Kinsler. My guy, pick the stick.
Oh, he is. Got the benefit there. Kinsler didn't like that call. 2-1. Ian pulls it on the ground fair inside the bag. Here comes Machado to third base. They're going to have to stop him there. It'll be a double for Kinsler, and the Tigers again threatening. 2-out, 2-base hit.
Again, he's trying to come in on him. Looks like a little cutter. Kinsler pulls his hands inside, tucks it inside of the, right over the bag, over the third base bag. Looks like it actually might have hit the bag. And Machado on the move. This ball hits off the wall and bounces directly over to Fisher, keeping Machado at third. That ball goes down in the corner. Maybe he's got a shot. That'll bring up Nick Castellanos. Had a single in the first.
Castellanos, after snapping that long hitless streak on Wednesday with a base hit. Now a base hit could give the Tigers the lead. And Keuchel misses inside, 1-0.
If you're Nick Castellanos right now, you want to think about if he throws you a breakable, it's going to start here, then break here. If it starts here, it's going to break in off the plate. So you want to have recognition right here. Try and predict a good ball over the plate that you can hammer.
In there, a strike called on Nick.
That's the one right there. It started off the plate. Still get me over breaking ball early in the count. He had the 1-0 count, so that's kind of a get yourself back into the count pitch.
Rich Doobie, JV, talking pitching. Here's the 1-1. Driven deep to left field, down the line. That ball is gone. It's a home run for Nick Castellanos. And the Tigers have taken the lead. What do they need that?
We were just talking about the Hagen breaking ball. It looks like Keuchel tried to come back with another. Nick waiting and on time.
The Tigers did not hit one home run in that KC series. They lead 3-1 in this one. 421 feet on the homer by Castellanos. Upton looks at ball one.
Look at AJ Hinch. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets somebody up pretty soon if he doesn't get this batter.
Well, that was his 55th pitch of the night. And it looked like he might have a really quick second, but the walk to the number 9 hitter Machado, and Keuchel has paid for it. After a 32 pitch first inning. Upton couldn't hold up. He went around. It's Manny Gonzalez at first base. Here's the 1-2. 2-2.
I believe that Keuchel's tiring a little bit right here. Almost 60 pitches in 2 innings. Not quite as sharp at hitting the outside corner as he was in the first inning.
And so again, he's gone to a 3-ball count, 3-2 on Upton. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Well, we were talking about the curveball. Look at, he tries to throw another one. It's kind of out over the plate. Nick knows he's got it all the way to a little bad flip right there. Kept it fair. A big blow, 3-run blast.
It was more than a little bat flip. He was walking backwards down the line.
The moonwalk.
Huh. And there's a walk. So Keuchel issues another base runner.
We're going to have action.
Third walk, and yeah, I don't think the Astros have any choice now but to start the bullpen working. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Why not? Sit back, watch a baseball game.
So here is Cabrera. He'll bat again. He struck out with runners at second and third in the first inning. 2 walks, a double, and a homer in this inning against Keuchel. There is ball 1.
We do have action out there. Musgrove, right-handed pitcher. They're going to try and turn this Tiger lineup over. Tigers filled with righties. Now Keuchel's previous 2 1-0 pitches, he's throwing breaking balls. That time he crossed Miggy up to a fastball.
Cabrera waits on the 1-1. Bouncing ball to short. Gonzalez will fire to second for the force out to end the inning. However, Tigers grab their first lead of the night. Castellanos tattooed this one 421 feet. See you later. 3-1 Tigers. Tigers have the lead now 3-1 thanks to the Castellanos home run. And we're going back to college with Nissan. Jordan Zimmerman played his college ball at UW Stevens Point.
Pointers.
Pretty
impressive. 20-7 record. Look at the ERA. Not a lot. That's a D3 school. Went on to have a very good career so far. Got some unfinished business, doesn't he?
Sure does. Now he'll go back to work here as he faces Nori Aoki to lead things off.
I know one thing from facing Aoki, don't throw it down and in. That's the pitch. One pitch he gets with regularity.
Tigers 3 runs on 4 hits. Astros a run on 2 hits. Aoki with a solid season, 276. Did he go? He did not. So says the third base umpire. That is Fielding Culbreth, crew chief. 1-2 on Aoki. Again, earlier today, the Astros put George Springer on the disabled list, so they are without 2 of their key pieces, Correa and Springer. Aoki got a piece to stay alive.
Yeah, Aoki, he'll just hit just like that. He's just going to slap and run, especially with 2 strikes.
Outfield shallow and center on Aoki. Here's the 1-2. Slap foul.
Well, Mario's talking about a couple of guys on the DL. Pretty good production there. It's 47 home runs between the 2 of them, both hitting over 300. 130 some RBI.
Aoki down on strikes. First strikeout of the ball game for Zimmerman.
Ball's got some good bite on it. You see it goes straight down. Aoki trying to just slap that ball by Castellanos down there over top.
Here is Fisher. Fisher lined out to the second baseman in his first at bat. He'll look at strike one in the outer edge. Not only was he hitting with power or for power down in the minor leagues, 21 homers at AAA, but he also stole 15 bases at Fresno. And he'll take a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of homers already at this level. Good pitch, outer edge. Ends in a breaking ball, 1-2. Altuve waiting on deck. Sim coming in pretty good numbers career-wise against the Astros. 2.95 career ERA, couple of wins. Three, 2.
Just missed. Remember CB Buckner giving the ball on the outside corner. That's just too far. You found his outer limits.
Drill to right field, base hit. Fisher with a 1-out single. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. Look at Jose Altuve, and some numbers can be compared to Pete Rose.
Yeah, that's through 927 games. He's ahead. And you can see all the categories we picked except age. However, Pete Rose did go 24 years and 3,562 games, so got to stay healthy. But nevertheless, Altuve, a very big talent, and he's going to make history before he's out.
He tripled in his first at bat, and Sim starting him off with a slider. So we bring in Craig Monroe, who's hanging out down on the field down there. And Simo, it looks like the Tigers getting a Dallas Keuchel tonight. That's a little bit rusty.
Yeah, they definitely getting to him early, Mario. He's a little off. Location's not there. Big swing there by Nick Castellanos, staying back on one, keeping it fair down the left field line. Little pimp job, too. I like it.
There's a ball down the left field line. Fisher coming to third base. He's going to stop there, and Altuve just keeps hitting, man. A double to go with his triple.
And he rakes. You throw it over the plate, he's going to rake it. He's also a very good bad ball hitter, and Castellanos playing off the line right there. Look at, he gets right over top of this. Ball's running in, and he just turns on it down in the left field for a stand-up double. Second and third now, 1 down.
Guys, this kid can flat out hit. I mean, he absolute rakes. I mean, he hits everything. Fastballs inside, outside, up. Ball, strikes, it doesn't matter. He finds a way to barrel it up.
Quick bat. Doesn't ever seem to be off balance. Doesn't ever seem to be lunging. Had a huge July. And now starting off August. Soon to get after that month, it looks like.
Yeah, July just got bigger with his night tonight. Another multi-hit game for Altuve.
2 for 2 already. I said in our open, if something coming down, I'd pitch around him in his second. And Josh Reddick's having a great year, but I'd pick Reddick over Altuve any day or night.
Sac fly for Reddick in the first inning.
Get the ball down, make good pitch.
Foul back. Want to hear a crazy stat on Altuve? 37% of his career games have resulted in a multi-hit game. That's a lot, and that's pretty good.
Only 7% of the games multi-strikeout. Look at that. Pretty good in both regards.
Now the 1-2. High fly ball center field. Matuk sizing it up. Fisher tagging up. Throw will come to third base. Another RBI for Reddick with a sacrifice fly. It's now 3-2.
Second one of the game for Josh. Like what Mikey did right there. Simo just knew he didn't have him at the plate. Threw it over there to third base, kept Altuve at second, even though there's 2 outs.
I did, and I also like how Mikey got behind the baseball, too, on that particular catch, getting his momentum going to his target, which was third base in this particular situation. But also got to give the Astros Reddick, I mean, that's a good at bat, a lot of credit. That's a good at bat there with the runner at third base, less than 2 outs. He's looking for a ball up, he gets it and drives in another big run.
Yeah, after watching Zim, especially really throughout the year, he just seems like he's had problems getting the ball down in the zone when he wants to get it down. You need to work down and up. You need to work all 4 quadrants, but just tonight, not many pitches down. The breaking pitches, not many in the dirt. Got to work, got to mix that in.
Gurriel sends a ground ball to short. Easy play there for Machado, and that'll end the inning. Astros get a run back. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Tigers on top 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Mikey Matuk will get things started for the Tigers, who have a 1-run lead on the Astros.
Tigers 3-2 lead, as you said. And Simo, I wanted to ask about Mikey Matuk. I mean, he's kind of impressed me a little bit. Sat on the bench, didn't play a lot early in the year. He's got a lot more time and excelled well. Made a few mistakes. Seems like he's learned from his mistakes and is willing to be accountable for those mistakes. What's your read on what you've seen as far as that development process?
Well, I love the way he's taking advantage of every opportunity. Coming in as a bench player, you know you have to hit your way into the lineup. And I thought he came up with a lot of big hits early in the season for this team. Some late big knocks, RBI, run time, also to go ahead. And Brad, he forced the Tigers' hand to put him in the lineup. I did make mention in the pregame show too, Gibby, that he made some minor adjustments in his mechanics. If you notice now, he's standing straight up. Early in the season, he was kind of crouched over with his upper body a little bit more spread out. Now he feels like he can work down and through the baseball, and it's allowed him to have some success.
Keuchel delivers a strike, and it's 2-1 on Matuk.
I know he feels he's playing the game with much more confidence. I mean, it's hard. You sit there for that long and don't get many ABs, and you come in there. You do have the luxury of working, but now he's had success with what he's changed, and that confidence is there. Now he's got 2 strikes on himself right there. I think he still feels that he's going to get a knock.
I've also noticed too, guys, that he's been in control of every at bat. He doesn't give at bats away. He's been very patient at the plate.
On the ground to the shortstop, Gonzalez ranging left and scooped at first by Gurriel.
Good hustle right there, put some pressure on him.
There's Vmart. Simo, what do you do as a young player still waiting to take your turn like Matuk was early in the season in terms of staying ready to get that opportunity to play? And when you are called on, what are some of the things you do to try and stay sharp?
Well, you have to pretend as if you are the starter every day, and you have to prepare that way. And Mikey's done a good job of that. I've talked to him several occasions, and he's in the batting cage early. He's got a routine. He gets after it in the batting cage with the hitting instructors with Bull, Durham, and Leon, and also Lloyd McClendon. But he also told me that, guys, during batting practice, he gets out early. He takes batting practice serious. He cheats in so he can work on balls that are over his head. Him and Dave Clark doing, they work. He also works with Dave Clark on coming in on the ball. Again, that's what you have to do. You have to prepare as if you were a starter.
Martinez takes ball 1 inside, 1-1.
Yeah, I think that after watching him in spring training, he's surprised me. I had not had a good opportunity to watch him play so much, but to watch the way he has worked and he has changed the things that he needs to work on, that's what you look for.
Bregman handles this one, and Victor is out.
And he's got a great attitude too, guys. He's a good teammate. He's got that football mentality, Gibby, you know a lot about. I mean, he's a gamer. He gets after it.
He tried the wall, I know he tried the wall like we all do. It's not fun. But he held on to that, made the catch. But I think he was a little surprised by Altuve's blast off the right center field wall in his first at bat. And I did notice he deepened up just a little bit. You got to read those things and make some adjustments. You can see the Astros are almost ready to yank Keuchel.
Yeah, Brad Peacock, who made a start against the Tigers earlier this year in Houston, he's tuning up. Strike 1 on McCann.
Hey, Gibby, Mario, also look at McCann here too. He's made some adjustments in his swing. If you look at his his approach at the plate, and look where his hands are now. Before, his hands were over the plate, which was crowding and wouldn't allow him to take that real good swing, a free and easy swing. Well, they backed him off the plate a little bit, and it's freed his hands up. And he's right now in a 7-game hitting streak, hitting, what, 435. So he's been locked in after making those adjustments.
McCann bounced out in his first at bat. Who usually suggests these tweaks that you speak of with these hitters? Is it normally the hitting coach saying, all right, look, I found something, let's try this?
Yes, it is. A lot of times it's Leon Bourdin, who's the assistant hitting instructor. Again, when you are behind the scenes, you get an opportunity to watch a lot more videos of the players' mechanics and things that you feel like you can insert to make them better. And obviously this is one of the things that both Leon and Lloyd McClendon saw that makes McCann better.
A base hit to right field for James.
And he's my pick to stick, and that's a knock. I'll take that point.
Attaboy. 2-out single for McCann and for Simo.
Well, take a look at the swing right there. Things that ball's down and away. Maybe earlier in the year he would have tried to pull that, pop it up in the air. Nice contact. Stays lengthwise. Look at him. Stays down on it. Doesn't try and pull it. Finishes right where he hit it. 2-out single. I tell you, I think most ball players have to learn how to not to overswing.
Here's the line drive to right. That's going to drop in. Base hit, knocked down by Aoki, but McCann will stop at second. Romine aboard. A couple of 2-out singles for Dixon Machado.
Nice job there by Aoki, guys, keeping that ball in front. That's one of the toughest plays. Line drive right at you. Not sure if you can come in and make the play. He came in hard. but wasn't able to make the play. But he kept that ball in front of him, kept the Tigers from scoring a run there.
Yeah, he almost misplayed that poorly, and I was hoping it would get by him. I had a thing or two. I did 1 or 2 of those in my career. How about you, Simo?
Good swing right here.
Let the ball travel.
Yeah, but here's when you get that close to it, you have to do 1 or 2 things. You got to dive and try to make the play get, or you got to wear. You got to keep it in front of you by any means necessary. And Aoki was able to keep that ball in front of him.
He did wear that, didn't he?
Right,
he wore it. Yeah, he wore that one.
All right, here's Machado now with 2 on, 2 out. They're trying to get Keuchel through this inning. He has had 76 pitches. Dixon looks at ball 1. He drew a walk in the second, and that got things rolling with 2 outs. Castellanos eventually hit the home run. Swing and a miss.
Keuchel not giving in. Again, an interesting, you can see, got this covered. Left fielder straight up. Oh, a lot of territory right there. That's what I'm visualizing. That's Simo country out there.
Left center gap.
One ball, 1 strike on Machado.
One note on Machado, guys, and we've watched this team on a daily basis, Gibby. And have you noticed that Machado has slowed the game down? I mean, he's also not a guy that plays every day.
He'll drive that one to center field, but it's going to be straight at Reddick to end the threat. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Top of the 4th at Comerica Park. Time now for the AT&T reliability stat of the game. Best road winning percentage in Major League history.
Astros, see if they can see it through. That's 37-13. That's pretty good on the road. You know, you might ask yourself, why does that happen? You know, part of it is good fortune, and some of it's luck. Obviously, a lot of it's skill. But I think some good togetherness. You get good like camaraderie going together. The guys want to be there. But once you get on a roll, a lot of this game is mindset. No matter whether it's at home, it's on the road, no matter what team you're playing, you get into the groove, and it is good to have good pitching. Okay, I mean that's one of the reasons as well. Simo, what do you got for me on that?
Well, for me, I think it starts in the clubhouse, Gib. I mean, when players are excited about getting to the clubhouse early, they're hanging out, they're staying late, they're talking with each other, trying to help each other. and the atmosphere is fun. For me, it bleeds winning when you get on the field because everybody's loose. Everybody feels like we're playing for each other, so to speak. And I know that's what happened here in 2006 with my team.
Slap to left field. Jeb had to leap to haul it in. One away. Well, speaking of being loose, Carlos Beltran is coming up to the dish, and of course he's been a DH this year. Did you see where a little while ago they held a funeral for his glove?
Yes, I saw that. I thought it was great. These guys are having a good time, and they're playing great baseball. They enjoy being around each other, and I thought this was beautiful.
They put his glove to rest, that Reverend McCann there. They weren't even smiling.
Beltran had a single in the second inning, and Trev, you got a little bit more on Beltran and his glove?
Guys, I talked to some of the guys inside the Astros clubhouse about that very thing earlier today, and they could not help but smile when talking about that.
Flared toward left field. Upton is on the move again. Still coming. Sliding. Can't get it. It'll roll by him. Into second base goes Beltran. That'll be a double. 1 out, 2 base hit. So apparently, Trev, this is something that you got to feel is born out of the fact that these guys all get along with each other.
And I'll tell you what, guys, I asked them whether or not the ghost of Carlos Beltran's glove was following them around. They think maybe it is. Maybe it's haunting clubhouses across the league as they travel. But one thing they did say is the chemistry inside that clubhouse is off the charts right now. They're having a lot of fun, and they're breaking up the monotony at this point in the season, and that was just part of it. But they had a whole lot of fun with it, and it's one of the most creative things I've ever seen in baseball or any sport.
Well, here's Brian McCann now. The tying run is at second. Beltran with a couple of hits tonight. And McCann looks at a ball. Here's a question for you guys. With all the chemistry the Astros have going right now, how fearful is a general manager of bringing a guy in without making sure he's not going to disrupt the chemistry of what you have built? For the trading deadline, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
That's a line drive caught, but nobody at second, so Beltran will get back.
You know what you have on your team, and you know what you have in your organization. And you know what? I've been on teams that have really anticipated getting somebody for the drive. It was a mental lift. And I've been on teams that didn't want it. So I think you have to, as a manager, you kind of have to read the environment, and you have to make sure you're plugging somebody in, first of all, that is going to be respected and will fit in with the personality of your team. I don't know, Simo, what do you got?
I'm going to agree with you. I think when you're going to add a player, definitely a player that can make a difference, the players are excited about it. And you're hoping that the player respects the chemistry that you guys have already created inside the clubhouse. And he just comes right in and fits in and then enjoy a very exciting atmosphere and having the opportunity to play meaningful games.
I'll give you an example. Do you think the Diamondbacks were excited to get JD?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you think he's fitting in?
Pretty good.
I don't know if I can dig it out. You have these little moments, sometimes you manufacture things like we saw with Beltran's glove today. Sometimes they just happen in a workout or whatever, and you have to be able to, I guess, be easy and let people do those things. We went on a road trip one time, and we had that tie made up of my right guard sports stick thing. I got on the plane and everybody had a tie of that on there. And, I was, Simo, I was too much of a hard, what?
Yeah.
I had to smile. Oh, listen to you.
Shallow center field. Matuk will make the running play. A double is stranded, and we'll go now to the bottom of the fourth. 3-2, Tigers have the lead here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is District Detroit night here at the ballpark tonight. All the mascots from downtown Detroit are here. And how about some of these concerts, some of these upcoming concerts at the Little Caesars Arena already scheduled? You got Kid Rock, who's going to open it up September 12th through the 20th. Paul McCartney's going to be here. Guns N' Roses, Lady Gaga, Jay-Z. What do you got, Gibby? Which one of these are you going to go to?
I'm already in a GNR.
Are you really? Nice.
I'd like to go to that Kid Rock concert. I know that's going to be, that's going to be an awesome concert. And then November
got
18th,
Janet Jackson tickets.
Jay-Z.
Hey, wait a minute. Andretti Bocello, right?
Andrea Bocelli's going to be here as well. Now, what are you saying? I'm going to go to the Bocelli concert?
Are you defensive? I thought maybe I was giving you some news that you could take your dad or something like that.
I might just do that. Andrea Bocelli will be at Little Caesars Arena, and that's going to be a great concert. So I might be in on that one.
Now, I had a few concerts along the way. You know that. My last one was Tom Petty. I went to the Queen concert.
Brad Peacock and a wall-side windows pitching change now for Houston. Kinsler flares it back out of play.
We'll have some good times down there. Looking forward to the new arena. Brad Peacock, about 92, 94 miles an hour. Got a good slider. Throws a curveball as well, and occasionally a change. It's mostly probably to lefties.
1-1. Strike call. I think one of John Keating's favorite events is going to be there. Disney on Ice, right, Keats?
Really? Wow.
What?
He dropped the really on you, Mario.
You know,
You don't like Disney on Ice?
No, I do. Who doesn't like Disney on Ice? But
Well, grounded to short.
Now Shep did the ground crew thing the other day, right?
He
So
did.
for host participation, maybe Keats would like to get involved in some of that.
Keats, can you skate?
President Keating can do whatever he wants.
Let me plug in so I can hear what you guys are actually saying about me.
No, he just guessed that it was something not very good, and he says, really? Here is Castellanos now with one out. And Nick, who's had a big night so far, single homer. His 3-run shot gave the Tigers the lead. They are still holding on to that lead. I know this Little Caesars Arena is coming along very nicely. We had a chance about a month ago to take a tour of that fabulous building, and it is going to be dynamite when Kid Rock opens it up.
Yeah, he'll rock it. And Kid Rock doesn't do it just one night. He does it several nights. Let's get everybody involved. Perfect guy to open it up.
Keats, I know you're looking forward to the Red Wings season, the inaugural season for the Wings. There.
Absolutely. It'll be spectacular. Practice rink right next to the actual arena, so when the Pistons are playing there, the Red Wings won't be uprooted. The ice will be great, brand new ice there.
Okay. Some views of the construction as it continues. Well, that scoreboard's going to be something else.
My concern is that they're going to put our images up there.
That would be a concern. That would be a real concern.
Nobody wants that, trust me.
2-2 on Castellanos.
You like the old pixel scoreboard, Keats?
It was better. Yeah, it was more flattering. I'll say that.
No high
You'll see
definition.
every pore and every pimple, I'm afraid. Mario, this is about the Heidi Klum thing on the pregame show.
It is.
That's why you're bringing us back.
This is all payback. Well, that ball hammered again. Deep left field to the wall and caught by Fisher. He made a bid for another one. 2 away.
Biggest in sports, correct? Scoreboard?
Scoreboard, yeah. Biggest
Indoors,
indoor.
that is, yeah.
You saw the gondolas there, which are hanging over from each side. That, I think, is going to be a really neat kind of throwback to the old barns in hockey. It's going to be awesome. Going to be fabulous. Here is Upton now with 2 outs.
No, we did go to some really good concerts at the Joe, so we'll have to replace history, I guess, with the new Little Caesars Arena.
J-Up with a double and a walk. Had a two-bagger in the first, did not score. And Peacock slings in a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Upton. Three runs on 6 Tigers hits, 2 runs on 5 Astros hits. 2-1. Back in May when the Tigers played in Houston, they faced Peacock. He made a start against the Tigers, went into the 5th inning, gave up just 1 hit, no runs. And he struck out 8 in that game. The 2-1. 2-2 on Upton. Well, the Tigers got Keuchel out of this game early, but it's a pretty good bullpen that they have in Houston. They'll have to deal with the rest of the way.
Yeah, going to need some more runs. This Houston team's going to come at you. They score lots of runs.
Full count. Cabrera waiting on deck. Astros currently on a 9-game trip, hitting .332 on this road trip. So the Tigers, it would behoove them to get more offense going here. Swing and a miss. J-Up is down on strikes, and a 1-2-3 inning for Brad Peacock. Big story. Did you happen to see what the Nationals did yesterday?
Oh, 1, 2,
Keep going.
3, 4. Well, you can see it on the bottom of the screen.
8 home runs yesterday against Milwaukee. They tied a franchise record. I think Harper hit a couple. Zimmerman hit a couple. There's a line drive. Bullet right at Cabrera.
Play Miggy.
Aoki's out.
That's unusual. I tell you what, look at Miggy right here. Looks slow, but that was in slow motion. In real time, that was really quick. What's the most many games, Simo, that you participate in? How many home runs?
You know what? I don't remember. I know in 2006 we were in Chicago with the Cubs. I want to say it was about 5 or 6 home runs. Country strong Marcus Tim was leading the charge. I think Brandon Inge hit 1 there.
Do you ever have 3 in a game, Simo?
Not in the big leagues, Gibby. The minor leagues, which those don't really count.
Yeah,
so,
they do.
Nah, if you're counting those.
And they count in softball slow pitch to me.
Yeah.
You either did or you didn't.
Derek Fisher, the batter. 0-2 now on Fisher. The Nationals hit back-to-back, so 4 straight, and then 5 out of 6 batters homer.
Yeah, you know, you worry about those games. Nothing happened. Sometimes pitcher says I'm going to throw it a little too far inside, but that's not the way to do it. Because hey, they're just swinging the bat. So that's what they're supposed to do.
Fisher down on strikes. Second strikeout for Zim.
This is the best scenario to face Altuve.
Well, Altuve has 2 more hits and is now batting .506 in July. And he's halfway to a cycle double-triple. Ball 1.
I wouldn't give him anything in this next pitch here either. Just try and keep it really low. No, we talked about it. First inning, first pitch off the wall. You wouldn't think a guy that stature, but boy, he's got pop. And he comes up in the 3rd inning, another double. And A.J. Hinch told me that he actually can see holes in the infield and can shape the ball.
Hammered to center field. Matuk is on the run, still going, and he'll make the catch. I heard you gasp there, Simone. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
By Dodge, it's all Aaron Judge all the time in the Bronx. Last night he lost half of a front tooth celebrating Brett Gardner's game-winning homer. Gardner's helmet hit Judge's grill. We're proud to tell you that the tooth is fixed. Mario Gibby, he's no longer whistling today.
You could see it drop out of his mouth there. It's like hockey style, hey, Keith?
Chiclets, right?
Yeah.
Here come the Tigers in the 5th inning. It'll be Cabrera, Matuk, and Martinez. High fly ball, left center field. Miggy hit this one a long way. And it's out of here and gone. Tigers.
That had to feel good. Just a fastball, a breaking ball, hanging slider right down the middle, 83 miles an hour. Miggy gets full extension on it. Look at, he stays through it. And this ball just kept carrying and carrying. Not only did it hit it solid, you got that good backspin and carried right on out of the bar.
426 feet on that Cabrera home run, his 13th of the year. Ball 1 to Mikey Matuk. How about that? Only his 3rd extra base hit this month.
Well, Miggy, you can smile now. Got to make you feel good there.
Guys, throughout the rest of this game, pay close attention to Miggy trying to catch the baseball way out in front to get more extension. That's one of the things that him and Bull Durham and also Lord McClendon is working on, trying to get him to catch the baseball more out front to where he can get rewarded like that and do some damage.
I think he getting too deep, letting it travel too much, because that's what you try and do. You pull off the ball when you get in a little slump, and that was the thought process.
Yes,
Simo?
yes, and you know, we also noticed that Miggy was letting the ball get deep. He was fouling the ball over the first base dugout, and you know that's not Miggy. But because he stays inside the ball so well, he has to force himself to catch the ball out front, and that's a great example of there. Even though it's a hanging breaking ball at 84, the fact that his bat path, he got the bat out in front, stay behind the ball, that allows you to drive the ball.
Chopper back to the mound. Peacock will handle it. 1 gone.
Well, I don't think Miggy's ever gone through a streak like he's going through this year. And look at, he's right down there with Bull. That's Bull Durham right there. They're talking about some things, and he cares, but sometimes you got to find a way to move on and lighten things up. And it's a good balance, and in reality, every slump has its own personality. You got to figure out how to overcome it.
Here is Victor Martinez.
What was your worst thing you can remember of Simo, and how'd you deal with it?
For me, it was the leg kick. When you have a leg kick, and Nick Castellanos goes through this at times, most hitters with leg kicks, you go to the timing, the rhythm part, making sure that you get your front foot up and down in time to where you can make good decisions. And I think, Gibby, that's one of the reasons why I kind of was up and down, where when I'm hot and I'm locked in, the rhythm and timing is perfect, and I'm getting there in plenty of time to make good decisions. Well, when I started to scuffle, the ball would speed up, and it wasn't because I was late with my hands. It was late getting my front foot back down to be able to attack the baseball.
Long conversation now with Bull Durham.
Well, you could tell he's working hard. He doesn't want that to be occasional. He wants to get back to Miggy.
Victor tried to hold. He went around 2-1.
And the same thing, guys, watching the gestures, watching the hand movement, they're just talking about getting extension. They're talking about getting through the baseball, catching it out front. And that's what Miggy was able to do in that last at bat. And he played big boy baseball again, hitting the ball out of the park.
Rolled foul. 2-2 now on Victor Martinez. Cabrera's home run is 13th of the year, his 49th RBI of the year. Tigers back up by 2.
Players do put a lot of pressure on themselves when things aren't going the way that they should be, and Miggy is no different than anybody else.
Fouled off. Martinez in this game, a strikeout and a ground out. He fanned with the bases loaded in the first. He bounced out in the third. First at bat from the left side against the righty Peacock. Dallas Keuchel lasted just 3 innings tonight because of a elevated pitch count early in this game. Full count now on Martinez, 3-2.
Need a base runner. James McCann swinging the bat good. Is due up after Victor.
Here's the 3-2. Popped up shallow left field. Fisher on the charge, but it's going to be the third baseman Bregman who makes the play. And there are 2 gone. Well, the Tigers take on the Astros tomorrow at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a free James McCann removable mask bobblehead. For tickets, go to tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
Looks like Peacock's a little sneaky with this fastball. Doesn't throw hard, but looks like that ball's getting on these Tiger hitters. The fastball catching a little deep.
Well, you mentioned he punched out 8 Tigers in 4 1/3 in the start he made against Detroit back in May in Houston. Tigers lost 3 out of 4 in that series. Then we got the catcher McCann.
Throws lots of sliders. Started back with the Nationals in 2011 and been with Houston ever since.
Contact problem perhaps here for McCann.
That's what it looks like. Glad I don't have to wear those, boy. Have all that turf is right there in front of the plate. Get a foul tip or something hits the ground, you get little fragments that come out of the dirt there. Sweat gets in your eyes as well. Really kind of a pleasant environment right now, huh? 71 degrees.
Awesome.
About a week ago, smoking here. Really hot.
Big crowd. Tigers have the lead. Nice night.
Superb evening.
McCann a single and a ground out. And James looks at a ball low, 2-0. Tigers, it seems, all night have been in good hitters counts.
That's what you got to do. You got to make good work because of those good counts. James has really swung the bat good against lefties, but not so much against the righties.
Chopped up the middle. Altuve ranging over, and he'll throw him out. So a leadoff home run by Cabrera extends the Tigers' lead from Biggie number 13 on the season, and this one, well, it had to feel good. Tigers up 4-2.
Pitch by pitch, Tigers up 4-2. Jordan Zimmerman still in there in the top of the 6th. Very effective against the Houston Astros, out pitching Dallas Keuchel. You see the sliders up top of the zone, fastballs, and then he goes to the breaking balls. A lot of ground balls, weak contact. Through 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, couple of strikeouts. Tigers leading 4-2.
Yeah, they've got him another run to work with now, and it'll be Reddick to stand in. Tigers hit a couple of long balls tonight. Nick and Miggy. That's sliced out of play 0-1 on Josh Reddick.
There's an example right there, that fastball right up and in. It's tough to get good hard contact on that pitch. Right on the hands. You want to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate. I made a comment earlier, he was having trouble getting the ball down, and now the breaking ball's much more depth, getting the ball down, mixing the strike zone usage up and down.
Zim got a 1-2-3 in the fifth, the first inning in which the Astros did not have at least one base runner. That'll miss outside, and the count now. Josh Reddick is 2-1.
Yeah, Zim wanted that pitch. You remember C.B. Buckner's strike zone early in the game. That's definitely within the limits.
Reddick pops it up left side. It's going to be a long run and a tough play. Machado circling. Oh, what a tough play to make. And Dixon did it beautifully. With his back to the infield, that was not easy.
Well, the ball starts out towards the stands, and it's always going to come back this way. When you get a ball that's hit like that off the bat, you just get the same way a catcher does it. The ball's out over the stands. Machado does a good job of staying with it, concentrating. Nobody close to spook him. He hauls it in. Trust me, he felt that while he was chasing that one down.
Gurriel pounds it foul, back out of play 0-1.
Do you know that feeling?
I can imagine what that feeling is like. The heart starts thumping a little bit.
Yeah, you go up, you get a beat on it at first. You think you got it, then you make a little adjustment, a little more, a little more, a little more, and then you feel that rush go through your body. Then the relief once you catch it.
Gurriel is 0 for 2.
The key to pitching is making good pitches early in the count, and especially when you're behind.
How about the old Astros uni there?
They had some interesting ones, didn't they? Yeah. That and the White Sox. Remember the shorts, the softball unis?
Yeah, those took the cake, to be sure. Ground ball left side. Castellanos gobbles it up, and Gurriel is out, 2 away. Saw Nick out there once again, Gibby, early today, taking ground balls, trying to improve his defense. Matt Martin out there.
Yep, actually did it twice. We saw him and Matt come out. Then it started to rain a little bit, and he doubled back later in the day and took a couple more. Trying to learn how to read those hops, when to come and get it, when to take the drop step, how to get around the ball, and then to get that arm up quickly and make that throw across the diamond accurately.
Here's Gonzalez now with 2 outs. 4-2. Tigers have the lead in the 6th. Belted to right field. That one going deep, and that one is gone. It's out of here, a homer for Marwin Gonzalez, his 19th of the year. He tomahawked that thing over the wall. Well, what a year this guy's had.
And he's versatile, plays shortstop, can play the outfield, and certainly stinging the ball with the bat. This ball's just up in the zone, right down the middle of the plate. Actually, it's above the zone. He just gets on top of it. Got it here very quick. And somebody had it, but he threw it away.
Oh.
It's almost like the one that Canseco had in off the head.
Yeah.
Although this one's on the hands. Threw it down to a lucky person standing in the entryway to the park.
Driven toward left field. That ball's hit pretty good up and going back to the track, and he'll make the catch. So Beltran is out of there. However, the Astros get a run back on the Marwin Gonzalez home run.
I had it in my hands.
You go to the bottom of the 6th, and parents want to bring your little Tiger closer to the game. Well, now you can with the membership to the Tigers Kids Club. Each Kids Club member receives a jersey lunch cooler, baseball cap, school supply kit, lanyard, passport, and so much more. If you'd like more information, or if you'd like to order, go to tigers.com/kidsclub. And now the Tigers will come to the plate here in the 6th inning. First one home is a strike call to Andrew Romine. Romine, then Machado, and then Kinsler. 8, 9, and 1 in Brad's lineup tonight. Fouled away 0-2. Romine getting another start in right field. He started a couple of times against lefty Danny Duffy of the Royals. He got the start against Keuchel tonight.
And he just tried to slap that ball by Brigman down there at third base. And they have moved back in the full shift. And we've seen Romine bunt with 2 strikes before.
Down he goes. One away here in the 6th. It'll be the second strikeout for Peacock since coming on in the 4th inning.
Peacock, as I said, he's got that sneaky fastball, lots of sliders. He does throw a changeup and a curveball. Right there, he got Romine on the secondary stuff. Around 80 miles an hour, way out in front.
Now Dixon Machado. Boy, these Astros, man, they love shifting. Now they've got 3 defenders to the left side against Machado.
Well, they know they're going to throw into the shift. Just kind of thinking away from the game right here a little bit. Zimmerman now through 6 innings. His pitch count at 79, which is in good shape, but if you might want to think along with Brad Osmus, think about what he would like to do with his bullpen from this point out. Who might
a solid base hit to left for Machado.
Who might the Astros pinch hit for? So you want to start planning that out a little bit. So just encouraging you those at home to get it all laid out, because it may change in a pitch or 2.
Tigers had the day off yesterday, which affected everybody in the bullpen. They got a chance to rest up yesterday.
Everybody's pretty clean. Looking at the pitcher's grid. See, Sophold had 3 innings of work. So he'd be a guy that maybe you'd stay away from. Everybody else looks like they'd be available.
Belted to left, but foul.
Well, I would have taken that.
Yes, you would have. It's already gotten you a double tonight.
Yeah, but I wanted to dig her an RBI, a couple runs scored.
Greedy.
Why not? You're the leader of all people. Call me greedy.
No balls, 1 strike on Kinsler. And a strike called. He got the outside corner. 0-2 on Ian. Tigers have 8 hits, 6 for the visiting Astros, who came in with unbelievable offensive numbers this year, leading in so many different categories. Fouled away.
Little slider right there. Peacock's slider comes out a lot like his fastball. 92 miles an hour on the fastball, 81 on the slider. So there's about a 10-mile-an-hour speed variation.
He went around. Strike 3. Kinsler is out on another slider. Let's bring in Trevor.
Up here at the Amsterdam bar, where the party is always on, but there was a party of a different sort here at Comerica Park last night. Miguel Cabrera held the 9th annual Keeping Kids in the Game event here at Comerica Park. Fans got to come and take self-guided tours of the Tigers clubhouse, walk around on the field. Of course, they had some food available and fireworks display for everybody afterwards, and you got to meet Miggy up close and a couple of his teammates that were here as well. All part of Miggy's efforts to help secure some funds for youth baseball in the area, and also some health for the young kids, some health care for young kids in this area as well, guys. So a very good cause for Miggy and these guys. Hit a home run here earlier. Obviously, that was a home run for he and his foundation last night.
Kudos to Miggy.
He's been doing that a while, hasn't he?
He has,
10 years or so. It's got to be a thrill for those children. Good to see Fulmer and Jay up there supporting his teammate.
Castellanos fouls it back 0-2. Yeah, it's been a big night for Nick. Single, 3-run homer.
Do it again. 2-run this time.
That home run came against Keuchel, who gave up 3 runs in 3 innings, but it was in trouble all night. Pitch count got up and they lifted him early. The 0-2 is outside. One and 2 on Castellanos. Upton waiting on deck.
Good count to run on right here. Probably going to be a slider. You have to get a little bigger lead than that. They were thinking the same thing. Yeah, like you get off a little further right there, even if you're not going, maybe get Casty another fastball. Put that thought in their head.
It'll slide outside. 2-2 now on Nicholas.
2-2, good count as well.
Swing and a miss, and he got him to chase. Castellanos is out of there. 4th strikeout for Peacock. 6 in the books here at the ballpark. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Some tough news out of Arizona. Robbie Ray, the former Tiger, was hit in the head tonight by a line drive off the bat of the Cardinals' Luke Voigt.
Yeah, it's terrible. At 108 miles an hour. And we wish him well, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looked. Dansby Swanson demoted to AAA. You said you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you know, we saw Dansby last year at the end of the season. He looked like a budding star, and I'm sure eventually will be, but back down in the minor leagues now. David Price going on the DL for the Red Sox.
He's had an interesting year. It's his 2nd stint on the DL with the elbow problem.
Brian McCann leading off the 7th inning for the Astros in a 1-run game.
Also had a bout with the Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
on the airplane, so he's had a not very good year. We'll hope that he can come back at some point. You hope that, you know, there are risks in the game, and you hope that they're all are able to overcome them.
Rolled foul.
You know, I was talking last inning about who might A.J. Hinch pinch hit for. He's got 3 guys on the bench. Evan Gaddis is a catcher. I don't think he would use Gaddis this early in the game. It's his second catcher. Marisnik, Jake. He's a right-handed hitter, so he may go maybe Aoki, so down there at the bottom next time around. Then he also has Tyler White as an infielder. I don't think he would pinch hit him. So pretty much you know what you're going to get if you're going to bring a pitcher in to face somebody. I doubt you're going to get too many changes. You're going to get right on right or left on left.
3-1 ground out. McCann is out. Cabrera on the backhanded play, and that'll bring up Alex Bregman. So Zim pitching into the 7th inning here tonight, trying to keep this a 1-run game.
Yeah, only 75 pitches, in great shape. So as you're a manager, you want to just keep an eye on the pitches as he's starting to hang him. Remember when Keuchel kind of started to lose it, he was tiring a little bit. You'd look for those signs. Tigers do have somebody up in the bullpen. It looks like just getting up is that Greeny.
Zim has only completed 7 innings 1 time this year. Bregman looks at a strike 0-1. Stump and Green. That'll sail outside. 1-1.
Pretty good tight slider right there.
Jordan gave up a run in the first, 1 in the third, and the home run solo shot in the 6th. Ground ball to third, right at Castellanos. 2 away. We check in again with Trevor.
Well, Mario, David Barish of Dearborn Heights is here with his son Nick tonight, and you're all over the place missing that home run ball that was in your hands. Why did you not make the grab?
Oh my, it was lightning fast. And I mean, when that hit the palm of my hand, I tried to take the pressure off and scoop it with my other, and it slipped right out. Oh my, that thing came so fast that everybody was just trying to get up to be able to grab it. Now, luckily, I was the one that got up first.
Sting a little?
No, it stung a little bit. Yeah, it did. It stung a little.
Nick, what did you think of the miss?
I was just like, oh my God, he didn't catch it. He was so close, but we got the ball at the end. So that was the most amazing thing I've seen at a baseball game. So it's just so cool that we could be here and try to make that catch.
You got the ball in the end. That's really all that matters, along with a Tiger win here tonight. Enjoy the game, guys, and thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, guys, back up to you.
All right, Trev, thanks. Good inning for Zim. A 1-2-3 frame. And coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
Now it's time for the Bernstein advantage. J-Up has the Bernstein advantage. Here you see some Tiger games. Most doubles in the American League this month. J-Up on top with 11. Whit Merrifield, who we just got rid of, and Altuve with 10. So J-Up, let's get another.
It'll be Upton, then Cabrera and Matuk here in the Tigers' 7th. Brad Peacock still out there. He has thrown 45 pitches, and he goes to work. A strike called on Upton.
It's been pretty efficient. That's what, 4 innings. 3 innings.
Starting his 4th.
Yep.
The 0-1. 0-2 the count on J-Up. Tigers lead by 1.
Peacock's got that good slider, really runs late and sharp breaking, so these Tiger hitters are going to try and, I would try and get that fastball early in the count.
Ball high. Now Rondon starting to warm up in the Tigers bullpen. Line to right field. Aoki going back. 1 out.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Happened in the 5th inning. Tigers were up. Got an insurance run for Miguel Cabrera on a hanging slider off Brad Peacock. Tigers still hold the lead. Been a while for Miggy, but let's do it again. Tell you, a lot of more teams, you notice how they're playing their right fielder opposite on the righties. Seem to be protecting that line. I mean, I wonder if, especially in this park, if it's because it's so deep out there that it's a triple anyway. Trying to cut down balls that might be a double down the right field line.
1 ball, no strikes on Cabrera. That'll get back out of play. 1-1. Peacock last year joined the Astros rotation the final 2 months of the year. McCullers went on the disabled list, so he's had a lot of starting experience with Houston. Tiger box. Nick, couple of hits, including a homer. Miggy a homer. Low and away, 2-1.
Well, I tell you, if Miggy could just get another knock here, double, hit a ball solid, go a long way for getting him back on track.
The 2-1. Chopper to the shortstop. Gonzalez has it. And Cabrera's out 2 away. Well, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Here's Mikey Matuk. What a job tonight by Zim. His pitch count's been in great shape all night long.
Think he's done?
I don't know. What's he at? He was at
about 80 pitches.
Yeah. Took a walk over 2 otherwise. A couple of ground balls. Ball 1.
Get Mikey on and have him steal a base. Astros would not be able to play that shift. Although Matuk is being shifted like everybody else. Lone first baseman on the right side of the diamond. Right here. This whole area wide open. Gets into that right center field gap. You get a double. Aoki playing over in that right field corner again. He wants to get all the way to the line. They're leaving all this to go.
Here's the 2-1. Spins up another slider and missed inside. 3-1 on Matuk.
I think he's going to get a heater here. Just get it down. Don't offer that high fastball. And look at Peacock. He just kind of, that elbow goes down. He slings it.
And ball 4. He walked him. Another walk from Mikey, his second of the night. Keep the inning going for Martinez.
They're going to shift.
4 walks for Astros pitching tonight. There's the Astros shift here against V-Mart.
So let's leave it here. You see, if they do get a base hit, they got this guy. He's covering all this ground right here. If Victor should try and go that way. Now you notice that Peacock, every time he's throwing a quick throw, he's throwing it from almost his stand still while he's taking the signs position. It's not as quick when he comes to his stretch, when he comes to his set. So right there is when it's quickest, when he starts to come up. There you go. So you know that once he becomes set, you know you can take a little bit more. Want to watch that front hip. Watch this part here when it comes that way. Come on, turn off.
Line drive and under the glove of Altuve. Matuk going to third base. They're going to wave him home. The throw went to second and a run will score. Oh, the Tigers stole one there. 5-3 ball game.
I love this stuff right here. This is what you call manufacturing a run. Give credit to Mikey right here. He hustled all the way. Didn't anticipate stopping at third. Gives Dave Clark a chance. Watch him all the way. He sees what happens now. He's just going to motor. He sets himself up. A lot of guys slow down and don't give themselves a chance on that angle there. Dave Clark sees the ball go to second base and sends Mikey late. Tigers steal a run right there, a 2-out run. Big run.
A 5-3 ball game, and that'll bring up McCann. That ball just under the glove of Altuve, who was playing deep to the outfield grass. Didn't go. 1-0.
That's a 2-out walk and a 2-out run on some aggressive base running. Good job of execution. Now he slowed up, but he had that angle so he could turn it right back on, make a clean cut at third base, and get to home before they could make a throw. There's another 1-0 get me over. Breaking ball. Probably going to throw it if it's 2-1. You're going to get that same pitch. Watch, see if he doesn't throw another breaking ball. I'd be sitting on it. It's a strike. It's 2-2. You got to make, you know, it's going to be 81 miles an hour if that's what he throws, so you got to let it come. Got the heater. Instead.
2-2 the count on McCann. Tigers now have 9 hits. They've extended the lead to 5-3.
Tell you, I bet you Victor Martinez is enjoying that ribeye steak, isn't he? On that play.
I think you talked about the key there as Matuk came into third really running hard. Gave him a chance to score. That has popped up. Shallow right field. It's going to be Aoki coming in, and that'll retire the side. Tigers get another run on a hit. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
Game summary. Nick Castellanos with the 3-run shot in the second inning puts the Tigers to a 3-1 lead. Then Mickey adds a solo in the 5th. It's struggling as of late, but it felt good. A hanging slider, got it out front, just over the wall. And Marwin Gonzalez in the 5th also with the solo shot. And the Tigers tack on another run here in the bottom of the 7th and lead 5-3. Top of the 8th. We got the Astros. We got a new pitcher. We had a wall side windows pitching change. Bruce Rondon. See this season, it's been an up and down season. Kid's got a lot of ability. 5 earned runs in his last 2 outings, but gets that slider over, and this is a golden opportunity for him to get a hold. He seems to not excel in the less strenuous, I guess, situations, but here he's in a good one here. 5-3 up against the Astros in the top of the 8th. Let's see how he does.
Derek Fisher and then Jose Altuve and Josh Reddick. He will have to deal with the top of the lineup. Rondon with the 0-1. Ground ball back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Took a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, drilled it to center.
Well, I hate to even show this, but we talk about up and down season for Bruce Rondon Wednesday. He gave up a couple hits, and now did this intentional or not, but the Tigers had hit many Royals over the last couple series, so tempers flared. Nothing happened, no punches thrown. I think Rondon did get ejected from the game, but here he's in with the leadoff single, and they'll have to buckle down here against a tough Altuve.
Double and a triple tonight for Altuve, who is bouncing out of the box on that Rondon slider.
Derek Fisher with the leadoff single, and he will run. Only 1 stolen base in 2 tries, but he does have the speed to do it, so Rondon will have to be quick enough to give McCannon a chance to cut him down.
Davinsky warming up in the bullpen for Houston. Swing and a miss, and Altuve now behind 0-2.
Well, if you like pressure, you don't get much more than this right now. Leadoff single, and you have the best hitter maybe in all of baseball at the dish.
Here's the 0-2. Line drive to left field, sinking. Upton plays it on 1 hop, an 0-2 base hit for Altuve. That is his 3rd hit of the game.
Well, Rondon threw 2 great sliders, and Altuve wasn't even close. Then he made an 0-2 mistake right there. Let's take a look right here. This is the previous pitch. Look how that goes down. Altuve way out in front. He's got an 0-2 count. He's got him right where he wants, and then he hangs one. This is kind of the youth part of Bruce Rondon. Now he's going to have to make some better pitches here to get out of this inning and preserve this Tiger lead.
Josh Reddick will stand in, the number 3 hitter. 2 RBIs on a pair of sac flies in this game. And Reddick takes ball 1. Heater at 96, missing high and away.
Daniel Stump warming up in the Tigers pen again.
Altuve now has 19 3-hit games this year. Here's the 1-0. Whistled foul back in the seats. 1-1 on Reddick.
Looks like Reddick likes the ball inside. Very quick right there on the slider.
A lot of good young talent on this Houston team. Everybody talks about the Springers and the Altuves and Correas, but Reddick himself having a marvelous year. Came in at 305. And he sends one high in the air, deep into right field, way back, and that ball is gone. A 3-run shot for Josh Reddick, and the Astros have the lead.
Single homer.
Another slider. He just hung us again. It's out over the middle of the plate. You're facing good teams like the Astros. It's not going to play. Tigers now down by a run.
Oh, the 0-2 slider to Altuve, and then that one was on a tee for Reddick. Houston with his first lead of the night. Gurriel out in front of the count 1-1.
Now, this game is such a test of character for all players. Bruce Rondon has such ability. He's got to find a way to get out of this inning, leave it as a 6-5 game. Hopefully the Tigers can bail him out and he can learn from this game tonight.
Well, Brad came right back to him in a high leverage situation, guarding a 2-run lead in the 8th inning, and 3 straight hits, including a home run. The 1-2. Ooh, Gurriel fouled that one off the mask of McCann. So it spoils an otherwise good night for Zim, who went 7 strong in this game.
Reddick, 5 RBI in this game, having a heck of a night.
And Sale inside, 2-2.
Doesn't get this Gurriel, this will be his last hitter.
Now the 2-2 popped up behind the plate. McCann can't handle it. Did he not see it initially?
Yeah, it looks like he just got a late start on it. Never had a good beat on it. Picked it up late. See him looking up. He actually turned the opposite way, and now that ball's going down range and just doesn't get his glove turned around, unable to make the catch. See the frustration on James McCann's face right there.
Another foul back out of play. Gurriel is 0 for 3, fly ball, 2 ground balls. Still nobody out. And a happy Tiger fan. Again, that slider left up there by Rondon.
Yeah, he's not finishing that pitch, getting underneath it. Looks like he's aiming it. Again, that's a pitch. It's a great pitch if you get it out front and it works. It'll break late, and he's able to throw some good ones. It has not worked out tonight when it's needed.
That one's popped up first base side. Here comes Cabrera. He's got room. And one gone. Fans, RBI Baseball 2017 is out now for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action, packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and more. RBIGame.com for more information. And that's going to be it for Bruce, it appears. He'll give up the baseball with Marwin Gonzalez coming up. It'll be a wall-side windows pitching change. Josh Reddick drives a slider into the seats and gives the Astros the lead.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Well, it's been a frustrating night for the fans and for the Tigers tonight. Bruce Rondon giving up a 3-run shot to Josh Reddick. And now Daniel Stump will come in to face Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, the next 3 guys not as good against left-handed pitching, so doing the right thing, bringing in Stump. Fastball, slider, change. These are the numbers on this month. .84 ERA in 13 games.
Whip a little over 1. And Gonzalez takes inside, 2-0. Stump replaces Rondon, who replaced the starter Zimmerman. Jordan went 7 and got the Astros in order in the 7th inning before giving way to the bullpen. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball to third, easy hop there. Castellanos throws him out, and there are 2 gone.
No, it's disappointing. Tigers trail 6-5. Got to get this last out. Get a run against the Astros. Get it tied up.
Here's Carlos Beltran. Each ball club now with 9 hits.
Beltran only hitting 190 against left-handed pitchers this year. Does have a double and a single tonight.
Each team with 2 home runs. Castellanos and Cabrera for the Tigers. And Gonzalez and Reddick for the Astros. Sliced foul out of play, 1-1 on Beltran.
You know, looking at that run that on the base running hustle by Mikey Matuk. Big run right there. You think going into the 8th inning. Now you're only down by 1 run because of the 3-run homer. That's a lot different than 2 with 6 outs to go.
2-1. You know, it's easy to look back, Gibby, but again, you kind of look at that 0-2 pitch that he threw Altuve. He just simply hung a slider there, and he slapped it in the left field for a base hit, and that set up Reddick.
Yeah, of all the guys to hang one on, I mean, he threw 2 great ones. You know, the thought process is, I'm going to throw another one, the one I just threw, but he just didn't get it out front.
Did he go? Yes, he went around, and that's it for the Astros. Beltran strikes out. Big inning, though. 3-run shot by Reddick gives the Astros the lead. This Sunday, the Tigers host the Houston Astros at 1:10 p.m. Sunday Kids Day. All kids 14 and under receive a free Justin Verlander sling bag. For tickets, go to tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. By the way, tomorrow's upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows, and it's going to be Colin McHugh and Matthew Boyd.
Well, it's going to be a good one. Matthew Boyd coming off a good, strong start. Colin McHugh, I know the Astros are excited about having him in the lineup after Keuchel. They wanted to, and they got their staff is just getting healthier and healthier, but the Tigers will have to take him down. You see that ERA of 7.71. Good opportunities. Get job.
Little pop up and a catch for 1 pitch and 1 out. Gonzalez. Romine retired, 1 gone. Wallside change now. Chris Davinsky has come on.
His 41st game. He has 14 hold. Sub 3 ERA. Doesn't walk anybody. Look at the strikeouts. This has been one of the strengths of the bullpen for the Houston Astros.
A couple of defense changes along with the pitching change that we'll get to. Jake Marisnik now is the new center fielder, and Josh Reddick will slide over to right. Aoki is out of the game.
Pinsky fastball, 94-95, really good changeup and a slider.
Machado fouls it back out of play. Dixon, pretty good night. Walk, single, run scored. Tigers need a base runner. Top of the order on deck. Davinsky has been a guy that has worked a lot for the Astros. He leads all major league relievers in innings pitched. He struck out 78 this year. It'll dive low, and now Machado is ahead of the count, 3-1.
Get a runner on, make first baseman cover, open that infield up. For my guy Ian Kinsler to go yard.
And he walked him. That is the second time tonight that Dixon has walked from the 9th spot, and 5 walks for Astros pitching. They are asking for trouble. Here is Kinsler.
And let's comply.
H.A. Hinch comes running out.
Going to talk about should the runner go, how you want to pitch Kinsler, Castellanos. You know, where do you want to play your infielders in your shifts? How about the outfielders? Want to be in a little bit? You want to stay back? You want to stay where you normally are? Obviously, the tying run is at first base. You care about the tying run or the go-ahead run. We were always taught about the go-ahead run. That always took priority. But they have reports on all these hitters, and A.J. May went out there to remind Davinsky of something he'd like to see or doesn't want to see.
Gary Pettis moving his outfielders.
They're playing deep. However, not in left. Center fielder Marisnik is deep, and so is Reddick.
Kinsler is 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored.
Maybe they're talking about throwing over a couple times, making sure you keep Machado on first base. Think about making an early stop out to the mound like that. You take away one later if you need it. Say he gets another guy on. Don't have that luxury of going out and talking about the bunt play. However, the Tigers probably would not be bunting. How about a little jam shot to center field? We go first and third.
Way outside now, 2-0, and Davinsky is starting to build a little bit of trouble here in the 8th. He was an all-star this year, first all-star appearance, and pitched a perfect 8th inning with a strikeout. Ian got himself in a 2-0 count. Meanwhile, Machado continues to draw interest.
Yeah. He bends his knees before he goes. That's right what my key is. You watch, he bends his knees first.
In there, a strike. Oh man, he got the benefit of that one.
Ball's off the plate. And
that's what Kinsler is relaying now with his body language.
Yep, CB. Ball. Look, watch how he falls off. Watch how the leg comes way over. He falls way off. It's an unusual motion. A lot of stress on the arm.
High, ball 3. Castellanos on deck.
Brad's got to be thinking right now, do I send him 3-1? Probably not, but how about 3-2? He knows what he does when he throws over by now.
Ground ball to short. They'll flip the second one. Relay to first is a double play. Davinsky gets the ground ball to end the inning.
Getting you ready for Tigers Live, and certainly a topic of conversation during our post-game coverage will be not just what Bruce Rondon gave up, but why Bruce Rondon in the first place.
Well, first of all, Bruce Rondon came in and he did throw 98, 99 mile per hour with his fastball, guys. To Josh Reddick, he hung a breaking ball and he played a big boy baseball and went way back to right field. Just didn't make the pitch. We'll get into the other stuff on the post-game show. Stick around.
Fireworks and Brad Ausmus's post-game thoughts on Tigers Live just immediately after the conclusion of this one. Upstairs we go for the ninth to Mario and Gibby, guys.
All right, Keats, thank you. The Astros coming to the plate now here in the ninth inning with their bottom three. McCann, Bregman, and Marisnik.
Well, Simo and John Keating are going to have a conversation about a Tiger win. I want to stick around and hear about it.
Tigers had 3 more big outs. And right now the mission for Stump is to keep this a 1-run game as McCann fouls it back. Stump came on, got a couple of outs in the 8th. And now a fresh inning in the 9th. McCann is 0 for 3.
Stump can go multiple innings. He went with a couple, 2-3 innings in his last time out. It was on the 24th.
Here's the 1-1.
Throws pretty firm, does Mr. Stump. 95 mile an hour, up 2. The slider's pretty nasty. Changeup would be more to right-hand hitters. Pretty much fastball, slider to the lefties.
Slider right there, 2-2. Little chopper back up the middle. Machado on the backhand. Quick flip. McCann is out. It's going to be it for Stump. Brad goes back to the bullpen here with Bregman coming up. So Stump will face 3 batters.
Yeah, he did a good job. Got all 3. Good communication there by Machado, letting Castellanos know that he had it. So there was no mishap there. Tigers get the first out.
So they go back to the bullpen, and we'll be back.
Shane Green trying to keep this lead. He had a great outing in Minneapolis on Sunday. Faced 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. Electric stuff. Tied for 4th in the American League with 48 appearances. Has allowed only 6 of 37 runners he's inherited to score this season. Nobody on base that's keep him off. It just shows you the ability and the stuff that he's got.
Our call Sam call of the game, and now Shane Green coming in here in the 9th inning.
He's the guy you see a lot of scouts in the stands, and stopped by a few and been asked about Greeny.
Grounded toward third, fair ball. And Castellanos throws out Bregman, 1 pitch, and there are 2 gone now.
How about to ate him up? The sinker down and in. Ate Bregman up.
We'll bring up Marisnick, who gets his first at bat of the game after coming in as a defensive replacement. There's the closer for the Astros, Ken Giles. He throws hard.
Yes, he does.
Ball 1. Marisnick has a little bit of power. He's got 11 homers. He's batting .248. Very good defensive center fielder. Popped him up. Right side as Kinsler goes back, and that is going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Tigers have 1 more shot. They're going to have Castellanos, they're going to have Upton, and then Miguel Cabrera down by a run. Ninth inning, need a run to tie 2-1. 6-5 is our score in favor of the Astros. Don't forget, coming up, Tigers Live postgame live fireworks. A Friday night here at the ballpark. Fireworks Friday.
Tigers got the meat of the order up. Castellanos, Upton, and Cabrera. Mikey Montauk right behind him. They're going to face the closer, Ken Giles. 40th game, 21 out of 23. Fastball slider, throws about 98, close to 100. The slider will be about 86, 87 miles per hour. Been a while since he's had a loss or a blown save until tonight.
21 of 23. And he tossed a scoreless ninth inning on Tuesday night. So Giles goes to work. Here is Castellanos. First one rides inside at 98 miles an hour, 1-0.
You're going to get the express, and they're still shifting now. That's the thing you got to wonder. Why would they play him to pull on the ground when he's throwing 98? I think that their philosophy is 98's going the other way. That's why it makes no sense to me. Stay
Ball
tuned.
two.
Hopefully Nick shoots it over there to the right side with only the first baseman covering.
Castellanos had a single in his first at bat, a 3-run homer off Dallas Keuchel back in the second. 2 out of 4 tonight. Tigers have 3 guys coming up here that can tie it on one swing of the bat. Here's the 2-0. Nick pops it up. First base side might be playable.
Missed it.
Tough play. Gurriel stayed with it nicely and hauled it in. That's a tough play.
It's a heck of a play right there. Didn't look like he had a good beat on it, but he stayed with it. You're looking at the lights, you're running, it's sloped away from the playing diamond. Reaches out at the last second and hauls it in.
Here is Upton with 1 gone. J-up double walk. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Hit a ball pretty good in his last at bat, but lined out to right field. Swing and a miss. Ooh, triple digits. 100 miles an hour.
When you're a hitter and a guy throws that hard, when you try and swing harder, the reality of it is you got to try and keep your swing as short as you can. But it's hard because it's coming at you, and you can hear it hisses when it goes by. Up there, you definitely have no shot at catching up. Very few guys do.
Cabrera waiting on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the express again at 99.
Definitely can't try and pull it. Jab's making a pass at it, but it's coming in there pretty good. You look at Giles's motion, he kind of coils slowly and it comes out hot. Slider, he got up. See the catcher get up on his haunches right there. Fastball, he's sitting down. Ken got up.
Can you pick that up as the hitter?
Sometimes they do it every time. Usually in a fastball they just sit. They don't do it all the time, then it's hard to go by that. Now watch. See if he sits down.
Got him. Strike 3 in the outside corner. He got the call there, and J-up doesn't like it.
That's outside. It's a bad break right there.
2 up, 2 down.
Nothing you can do with this. This is nasty. Just threw you 98. That's a nasty slider. It's 4 inches off the plate. And the pitcher gets the call. So you can just sit down or plead your piece with CB, but J-up knows that. He's been involved in that several times in his career.
So here's Cabrera now, the last chance for the Tigers. He homered in the 5th. Astros got 3 in the 8th to grab the lead on the home run by Reddick. Jay up. Let him know he wasn't happy about that call. Miggy fouls it off 0-1.
A lot of people have had discussions about CB in the strike zone. It's a little more liberal than most. He's consistent. Been an umpire for a long time.
But as a hitter, you know that going in, don't you?
Yeah, but it makes it, I mean, that one there, you're going to take it if you see it. He gets the call. It's just one of those things. It's hard to tell yourself to swing at that. You're trying to tell yourself to lay off that pitch.
Fouled away. Now it's 0-2 on Cabrera. Again, 100 miles an hour.
Houston traded a couple of pretty good guys away for this guy. Struggled a bit when he first came over. Settled in nicely this year.
Oh, 2 on Miguel. Swing and a miss to strike him out, and the Astros nail down a win. Final score is 6-5 Houston. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. John Keating standing by with Tigers live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. That's what good teams do. They win games like this. The Astros did that tonight, coming back against Bruce Rondon, who came out of the Tigers bullpen in relief of Jordan Zimmerman, who deserved a better fate tonight. Solid start for Zim. There was a scary sight in St. Louis tonight involving a former member of the Tigers. We'll show that to you in the postgame thoughts of Brad Austin straight ahead on Tigers Live.